Kingwood High School is coming off one of the most successful seasons in recent memory. In fact, when the Kingwood softball team avenged an earlier season loss to Deer Park in the Class 5A state semifinals, the Mustangs were guaranteed to play in a 2013 state team final in the following sports, including boys and girls rugby, track, boys golf, girls lacrosse, boys soccer, gymnastics, and swimming.
Yeah, if you're not counting our sports that aren't UIL sanctioned like rugby and lacrosse, 11 of our teams have been. So it's a great day to be a Mustang, and I'm really proud of being from Kingwood, and I'm proud to represent Kingwood softball, and I think our community, our fans, and our team is awesome. I wouldn't trade them for anything.
Kingwood head coach Lauren Hendricks played shortstop for the Mustangs 14 years ago. In fact, this was the first time since 1993 that Kingwood reached the state tournament in softball. Starting pitcher Cassie McClure helped guide the Mustangs to the finals with 4 runs batted in, thanks in part to a 2-run homer in the state semifinals. She earned the victory in the circle as well as the Mustangs outran the Deer of Deer Park 9-3.
I just wanted to pitch my heart out these last 2 games because my last 2 games with my high school.
She's amazing. We couldn't have asked anything else of Cassie. She pitched her heart out and hit the ball very well, and she's played well all season, and she came here and showed everybody what she's made of.
The 9-run outburst against the Deer was nothing new, but the Mustangs were held in check in the state finals as Mary Beth Gorsuch of Lewisville held Kingwood scoreless for the first 6 innings, striking out 8 while walking just 1 batter.
They're a very good hitting team, and I knew that, and I knew I had to keep them off balance, and by doing that I had to throw every pitch possible, and by doing that I knew they were going to hit the ball, and my team had my back.
I think she did very well, and she made us look silly. She struck us out more than we ever struck out this season, so I think she did very well.
McClure gave up 3 runs in the state title game against Lewisville. A 2-run single by Becca Scott was hard enough to swallow, but a solo homer by Miranda Worthington was a mistake pitch, according to McClure.
Yeah, it was a rise ball, so I probably should have known that she shouldn't throw because her hands were up high, so she'll hit everything that's high, but she can't touch anything that's low. I should have known that, but we all have mistakes.
This single to start the 6th by Kingwood's Anna Oliachek was erased by a double play. Lewisville's 3-0 lead seemed insurmountable, but Ariana Zernial gave the Stangs hope with a 2-run triple with 2 outs to cut the Fighting Farmers lead to 1.
You know, my hat's off to these kids, man. We knew, that they weren't going to lay down and die on us, and we knew we were going to have to get that 3rd out.
Olenichek was at the plate again with another RBI opportunity as Zernial stood at 3rd base as the tying run. Down to her final strike and final out, Anna was called over to her head coach, who was coaching 3rd base. Hendricks put the suicide squeeze play on, but Olenichek pulled the bat back on a high pitch. Unfortunately for Kingwood, Zernial was hung out to dry halfway down the 3rd base line. She got caught in a rundown and was tagged out for the game's final play. A heartbreaking way to end an incredible season for Kingwood.
Yeah, she's got to trust in it and go with it. All she had to do is go for it. She didn't go for it. So I don't think it was her. It could have happened. We could have scored that run in 7 other innings.
I never knew they would do that. I mean, that girl was really fast. When she started running, I was like, why is she off the base? Because we ran this play over and over and over again in practice, and I knew we would get her out.
We worked a lot last week on rundowns and what would happen, and fortunately it just came out on our end of the stick.
The Mustangs' 2 runs were their lowest offensive output in 14 games, and their 22-game winning streak was snapped.
It was exciting, and then we had nerves this game. I had nerves. I know I did.
I think it was a bit nerves too, and again, they had several key defensive plays. I mean, they came out to play and they did very well.
It was a great season. I love everyone on the team. I'm going to miss them.
So a tough way for the season to come to an end for the Kingwood Mustangs. They finished 35-4, nothing to hang their heads about. In fact, this was their first loss since they fell in district play to Klein Collins, but nonetheless, they finished 2nd with a silver medal behind Lewisville, who wins gold. At the state championships here in Austin, Jeff Power, Max Prep Sports, your leader in online high school sports content.